I'm going to show a video of myself surfing Skookumchuck Narrows in a sea kayak, but the stern hatch cover popped while I was on the wave, and I end up in a flood sea kayak. So first I will show the video and then talk about what happened after I got off the wave. Unfortunately, I did not have my GoPro camera with me, so the second part we only have a few photos that I taken far away from the shore. What happened after I got off the wave? Even though I was very close to the eddy at that time, I struggled to turn my bow and paddle back to the main eddy quickly enough to avoid taking the tour. Then it became obvious to me that my stern hatch has been flooded as my bow was pointing to the sky and I was sitting so low in the water. So I went down through all the buoys and big whirlpools in my flood kayak. I tried to paddle as hard as I could, but I couldn't make much progress. 3 friends came down to help me as they noticed that I was in trouble. However, not much they could do in that situation as we were still in fast-moving and turbulent water. Also, 3 of them were all in their whitewater kayaks, and I was the only one in a long sea kayak. I was definitely a bit panicked, especially when I went through those buoys and whirlpools. My bow became almost vertical every time, and I had to brace so hard to keep myself upright. In the meantime, I also noticed that my skirt was blown up like a balloon. My bow was very low in the water, and there was a fair amount of water in my cockpit. Even though my friends couldn't directly help me, they told me to keep paddling, and they definitely gave me a huge mental support in the situation. Anyway, eventually, we got through all the downstream turbulence, and I managed to paddle back to the back eddy without swimming. Once we were back to the eddy, I paddled to the shore and got out of my boat to dump the water out. And it turned out that not only my back hatch had cover popped, also my bulkhead between the back hatch and the cockpit also failed. That explained why my spray skirt was blowing up like a balloon, because the water coming in from the back hatch that compressed the air in the cockpit. No wonder why my boat was so low in the water. Anyway, this was definitely a very chaotic and dramatic experience, and it was pretty unbelievable that I was able to paddle my flooded kayak out of the boiling water without capsizing. So, okay, I want to share what I learned from this incident. First, adding straps over a sea kayak hatch is necessary when you surf skook wave. Secondly, you can also put an airbag inside the hatch to prevent a flooding situation from happening. I was so lucky to be able to get out of the situation without any consequence. But if I swam, it can be pretty tricky to tow a flood sea kayak or empty the water while the kayaker was still in the water. So this was definitely my oversight, because my original plan of that day was to surf my half-slice whitewater kayak and my playboat. But the wave was a bit shallower at the beginning, and I struggled to stay on the wave in my half-slice. So I hope I hopped in my sea kayak without a second thought. And it was fun. I had plenty fun in my sea kayak until the flooding situation happened. I hope you're enjoying my story and learn something from this experience. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and click the like button as well. I hope to see you on the water. Bye.